Alright, Shalom Akim. First off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai being the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Those names in the Hebrew. I'd like to give double honors to our apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who taught us well. And a sincere shalom to you, the elect out there, preaching this word in truth and in sincerity. Alright. In today's video, I just wanted to hit a couple topics of, basic scriptures on judgment, basically. Judgment, happening because of our past lives, all right, and how reincarnation all works. So, I wanted to get this in Job 4 and 7. All right, this is Job, the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where the righteous cut off." So where were the righteous cut off? All right. And that's a scripture, we always go to because, there's certain events that happen, Sometimes, you'll see a 12-year-old Judite. I won't say Judite, so you brothers will understand, a 12-year-old, so-called African American, in the scriptures, from the tribe of Judah. So it's like a so-called Negro, getting shot by the cops. Many like to cry and say that he was innocent and whatnot, but that's judgment of the Lord, all right, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai passed by. And that is nothing to mess with, all right? Judgment is coming for a lot of people here in America, so-called America, which is Babylon. And let me get this right here in Exodus 34. This is Exodus 34, verse 5. It says, "And the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with them and proclaimed the name of the Lord Yahweh. And the Lord passed by before and proclaimed, the Lord Yahweh, the most, God, the power, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, for the iniquity and transgressions and the sins, and that will be by and that will by no means clear the guilty, all right, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, all right, because judgment is first going to begin in the house of Israel, and it says for the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, all right. So what exactly does that mean? And upon the children's children, and unto the third and fourth generation, all right. Now this is diving into reincarnation, all right. Every person, comes back in the third and fourth generation is what it's trying to say. And the judgment of thy fathers, that's just going to be the same people coming back, serving the judgment, whether they went off, whether they were wicked, or whether they were righteous, all right? And by that, I mean righteous, he's going to continue on being righteous, and the wicked is going to continue on being wicked and being judged for that, all right? And let me get this story right here in Matthew's, actually. This is Matthew's 27 and 24. And this story, what was going on, and when Yahweh Shai was in trial, basically, when they wanted to put him to death. It was going back to a Passover custom where the governors were able to release a prisoner out of Roman custody, and I believe Pilate gave the choice to either free Yahweh Shai or free Barnabas, who was known as a murderer. It goes deeper into it in the book of Luke, I believe. You brothers can read that, but this is basically what went down, all right? And it says, When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but rather a tumult, Salakia, rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See ye to it. All right, because Pilate was asking the people, the nation of Israel, basically the 2/3, whether to free Yahweh Shai or whether to free Barabbas, this murder. And it'll go on to say, that he washed his hands of, this whole scenario. And the people replied with, then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and our children. All right. And that's going to come back to haunt them, especially at the times we're living at right now. Judgment, this is a season of judgment. The year of the Kuragma, the RFID chip is going to come up. And martial law is, certain to come. All right. It's very soon. And you could see it, with various things that are happening in the news. And, all right. And that's just the point I wanted to bring out here in Matthew's, the story. I'll bring this out in the Apocrypha. More going into judgment and serving it. This is in the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 7:56. Oh, Salakia. This is 2nd Ezra 7:56, and it says, for while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. All right. And that verse simply breaks it down. That, Salakia, as we're living, in sin, and what, some of us, especially the 2/3 are focusing, on the bullshit of this world, but they don't even consider, the judgment that comes, in the afterlife, which isn't no heaven or hell, is the judgment of the next life. And basically, this is going to be our last judgment coming up. And it's going to be harsh, all right? It's going to be nothing like, ever seen, all right? For that day is great, so that none is like it, all right? It's going to be a day that surpasses even, slavery, that surpasses genocide, that surpasses, anything Israel had went to. And by Israel, I'm talking about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Anything that happened to those people, it's going to surpass all that. Judgment is to come. And this is going to be the final judgment. And they're going to come back as our babies in the kingdom, Lord willing. We're the hopeful members of the elect. And let me get this in 14 and this is also like that same scripture, 2nd Ezra 14:35. For after death shall judgment come, when we shall live again. All right. So basically, when we die, we all go to the heavens. We rest, and after the 3rd and 4th generation, we come back to earth. All right, to serve our judgment. And it says, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest. All right. And the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So those of you who did wickedly are going to serve judgment, and they're going to serve judgment hard, especially right now. And those of you that were righteous, the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. They'll be continuing on prophesying, all right? And I'll end it with this last one here in 2 Corinthians. 5 and 10. These are just a couple scriptures. Basic scriptures on judgment. What happens in the next life, whether there is heaven or hell, which there is not. You serve out your judgment in your next life. It's all about reincarnation. And it says, end it here, 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua Mashiach, of Hamashiach, that every one may receive the things done in his body according to that he had done, whether it be good or bad. All right? So it doesn't matter, what nation you're from, what your background is. I mean, yeah, it matters what your background, but it doesn't matter what kind of, what kind of person you are, whether you're an evil, disgusting man or you're a righteous, Israelite. We all appear, at the same place after we die, in the heavens. We all rest and we all serve out our judgment on the next life. All right. That's why you see, people that are, crippled, handicapped, this with disabilities, blind and all that. This is the answer to all that. Basically judgment. And I just wanted to do, this little lesson on, because judgment is to come to Babylon and, prepare yourself, all right? And give you a little scriptures on, how to defend yourself against the whole heaven and hell doctrine and, reincarnation, all right? Because many Christians, they don't believe in all this. They don't believe in reincarnation, they choose to believe in heaven and hell and all that shit. But basically, you can confound them with, just these few scriptures. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to you hopeful members of the elect. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And Shalom to you brothers out there.